Hey everybody, what is up? It is I, Link, coming at you with some Ezreal gameplay. Mostly because he is on sale this week. Well, not week, but for a few days. Well, I am playing currently in the private beta. And that's why this looks a lot different. I mean, the store is much different as well. The icons are the same, but they did change it up a little bit. And they have a new person working the store. Oh. Okay, maybe not in this one, but tomorrow's video, I'll try and do a Summoner's Rift and show you guys what that's about. This is going to be the high-res update. The UI is actually a lot smaller. But anyway, back to the action. Blitzcrank's going to pull in Nautilus. We're going to unload on him, quickly picking him up, knocking him up. He's using his Summoner heal, but Riven uses her Exhaust. I start using my Q to do some damage to Ezreal as he runs away, landing a basic, him turning around, and me landing another Q. This Blitzcrank and I are pretty much best friends. I was actually queuing with the Blitzcrank, and by best friends, I'm more so saying that he's just this one puppy that is amazing, and whenever I ask him to queue, he'll instantly queue. But I mean, he's a really good Blitzcrank. It's kind of amazing in how he plays. But anyway, this Riven asking some weird questions. So anyway, we're going to speed this up because there's nothing better to do. This Ezreal coming in. Blitzcrank now using Ghost, going after Ezreal, throwing his fist, getting Varus instead. Don't know how that happened. Although we are going to unload on Varus, I am going to make my ground up, flash in there, land a basic, and go in for my Q, and miss it. But I do take a nice chunk of damage from the turret. You are going to notice one thing from the turrets too, that this has also been an update. Also, before Riven moves... Dang it! Oh well. I think, yeah, I ward there later. But, when you get too close to turrets, they have like a little notification. They do like a boom, and then they blink an indicator over your head that something's about to hurt you. Our Riven actually just kind of debating if she wants to take on this Ez. She does come down, but she realizes he sees her, and they just go away. Now, Varus trying to pick me off with his skill shot. It's kind of hard because it's Ezreal, and Ezreal has a pretty nice base speed stat, and I even have boots to prevent this. I do harass really well. I mean, as Ez, you always want to stay to the bottom of the map, so you can do some nice damage. Although Blitzcrank does pull him in, knock him up, and allow me to do some nice damage. Teleporting to the side, using that for damage, and causing a nice kill on that Varus. As Riven's still sitting up there, actually returning, so she can go and help her turret. That's taking a lot of damage. Now, not much we can really do here. Blitzcrank having some, well, he's just laughing. Because you're going to see later how fed I get. And I don't know if I want to, like, get Ezreal or not. I'm not sure. I mean, I have them all unlocked in the private, whatever. Anyway. Ooh, that hurt. Varus coming back in the lane, but Riven getting picked up, almost killing the Nautilus. So I didn't know I think I can flash over that using my Q, or my E. But I do go right there. I walk through here expecting him, don't see him, although I do use my skill shot because I know he's in that one. He starts doing some damage to me. I'm not going to let that happen. I basic through him, use my Q, and drop him like a rock. Now you're going to notice that I don't put a single point into my W because it's kind of useless. All it does is it slows enemies, does a little bit of damage, and buffs friends. That's about it. It's much more beneficial to put points into your Arcane Shift because it does 120 damage. That's more than this, and it's also it's a blink that you can use quite often. I think the cooldown's 11 seconds at max, and if you build him like I did with Ionian Boots of Lucidity, it's even quicker. So we're going to speed this up now because it is just us getting backpedaled for once. Although he does go in, gets quickly picked up, and this Varus tries thinking he can take on the Blitzcrank, and yet again dies. Blitzcrank calling a GG right now at the 5-minute mark. And, well, he's right. I'm fed, but I haven't gotten a lot of my items yet. As Ezreal, I always start with some quick magic or ability power. But, hold on. Okay, this Nautilus now trying to run for his life, and Ezreal using his summer heal. I'm picking at the Nautilus a couple more times. I wish I would have kept my ult and it would have actually hit him. Then I could have made an easy pick. Varus getting some CS, but we are going to go in there and quickly pick him up, and we are going to focus our sights now on Varus as the Blitzcrank starts to heal himself using some health pots. We pretty much keep them shut down this whole game. We're actually just sitting here waiting, and Blitzcrank should have just grabbed him and should have went from there, but it wasn't smart because we were too close to turret. Now the Ezreal on their team is MIA, which is quite interesting. Now Varus almost getting picked up, but he grabs a minion instead. I'm going to poke at the Nautilus as I see the Varus now in my sights. We're going to go after Varus. We get slowed, and then we turn our attention to Nautilus. I've used my summoner heal to keep Blitzcrank alive. Blitzcrank runs with his mana shield pretty much non-existent, and I start to running because they're both going to focus me. He pops his ghost, try to make up the room. Nautilus still chasing me, but he does get pulled back. I flash to make a little bit extra room, pick him up with my Q. Riven and I now sitting in lane, me higher level than Riven for some reason. Maybe it's my kills. Anyway, we're going to turn our focus onto this Nautilus. Nautilus uses his ultimate on me, knocks me airborne, roots me to the ground, does some damage. Before he can get that basic down, he pretty much just gets ripped by Riven. Using my arcane shift to get a little bit further over, and returning. Now we're going to take this time to quickly talk about, not builds, but the Ezreal skin. He was supposed to get a new skin, the Pulsefire skin, but from what I heard, they can't make that skin because it's too reminiscent of Capcom's Mega Man, which it does kind of look the same. I mean, his basic attack is a whitish yellow attack, and his charged attacks are all blue. He's got an arm cannon also. Throwing in my ulti, ripping through everyone, knocking up that Ez, completely annihilating his health, forcing him right out of this fight. Going after the Nautilus now, and just going to pick up some minions. Don't know why this Ez keeps coming back out. I'm not quite sure what was going through his head. But what I do is I wait a few seconds, and I wait for them to just wait. I go in, flash over my Blitzcrank, use my Q, and pick him up. Now we're going to go after the Nautilus. Nautilus getting knocked up and quickly picked up by the Blitzcrank ultimate, which also hits the Varus, causing Varus to become silent. Although Varus just now reaching level 6, now with his ultimate, can cause some serious problems to the team composition. But this is no real matter because I'm Ezreal and I'm fed. As I quickly flash up and land a kill for a godlike. Now I do return, pick up a Sheen and a dagger, along with a sight ward because just want to. Throwing my ulti down there, trying to help him with the kill, doesn't work. Now we're gonna see there's a new lizard animation, or there's a new lizard model, much more high res. I do have a couple screenshots that show him on Summoner's Rift, but I'm not sure where they were saved to. So, quite interesting. Me getting picked up by his ultimate, him trying to do some damage, me just simply walking away, and then sitting in the bush, basicking for a few seconds. All he has is Berserker Greaves and Doran's Blade. Blitzcrank says coming, which really doesn't need to happen because I can easily take out this Varus. Flashing over, missing my Q, still manages to hit. Although this Ezreal really low, we're going after both of them. I'm going to land my Q on all of them as much as possible. Getting knocked up, picked up by my Q. Now I'm going to flash over, come behind him, and quickly pick him up with the bolt from my E. Using my ultimate to try and pick him up because I thought he was going to run and that turret would have got me. One reason I warded is because that Nautilus, even though our Riven's pushed up pretty far, that Nautilus was still getting, well, we just decided to ward. Anyway, we're going to be pushing turrets, both bot and top. I honestly have to say this game's a complete roll. I mean, 11-minute mark, 8 kills, 0 deaths, 5 assists, and 37 minion kills. We've only died twice, and yeah, me down here with this Varus, really able to do a lot to him. Now, the thing about Ez is that he's pretty much unstoppable once he gets to Trinity Force. He's got his crit he's got his crits, he's got his attack damage, his ability power, he's got the slow that actually does proc with his Q, which is quite interesting. Throwing my ultimate up there, pretty much turning the tide of that small fight, as I'm actually inside their base. I arcane shifted inside their base so that I could go behind them and do some damage. Quickly going to pick up the inhibitor, as I actually run into this turret a couple times, and I'm going to try and show you what it does. I'm hitting Varus from way back here, causing him to return to his summoner platform, which is quite funny. Now I'm going to return right inside their base, getting hit by a minion, getting snared. He's going to start doing some damage to me, or gets knocked up. I'm going to do some damage while he's sitting there on summoner platform and pick him up while my Blitzcrank is still alive. Now I am out of mana, and I am forced to return because of it, but I am sitting on 1.6, which pretty much allows me to do whatever I want. The Nautilus does rage quit, or at least that's what I think he did, not quite sure. The Ez comes back, and it's just, their team starts rage quitting or disconnecting, reconnecting, internet problems. Picking up items for a Last Whisper, which is pretty good if you ask me, especially on Ez, giving him that extra penetration, especially for his ultimate and his Q, makes him much more bursty. Now I'm going to walk back here. As you see in that turret, gave me a warning. A little thing pops above it and me, and it's like, hey, you're going to be shot. I stand there for a few seconds, and then I just arcane shift out and then use my Q in. Now, they're all back at their summoner platform. I do use my True Shot Barrage to hopefully pick up the Ezreal missing, although I do hit the Varus for enough damage. I'm going to flash back in, get notified that I'm inside turret range, and going to go back after their Nexus. Now, I mean, like I said, like I meant by this complete roll is 11 kills. Yeah. Anyway, Riven now going after this Ezreal. Ezreal getting knocked up, getting hit with a crit, and getting picked up by my Q. Now, Blitzcrank running onto the summer platform, realizing that he shouldn't. Throwing my Mystic Shot up there, trying to do some damage. Nothing really happens. This Varus does not want to let up. I'm going to hit him, and he's going to have to sit there for a second and heal up before he can come out and try it again. Now, I signal for everyone to get back because I'm out of mana, but we do pick up a kill after we lose our Blitzcrank, which is kind of sad. I do waste my flash here to get out because I don't know when they're going to be up. So, yeah. Blitzcrank realizing that he was so close to to getting that kill. This is actually where they surrender, I think. Yeah, yes it is. If you enjoy the content provided, leave a like. If you want to stay current, subscribe, and I'll talk to you all later.